So today I'm going to do something I've been meaning to do for a while, and that is upgrade my NAS solution, which, by the way, this behemoth is my NAS. It has two 2 terabyte drives currently in RAID, so they are mirrored, and I'm adding this 4 terabyte HGST drive. Now the way I'm going to do this is use the 2 terabyte mirrored drives, continue using those for mission critical things that I cannot lose, but then cold storage and long-term storage is going to be handled by this 4 terabyte drive. I'll eventually add another one of those, and then I can have a RAID array of that with another 4 terabyte drive and have that one mirrored as well. But for the moment, to keep budget in mind and everything else, I'm just adding this with the hope, I'm sort of gambling here, that a brand new hard drive won't fail nearly instantaneously because that upgrade won't be too far down the road. So let's go ahead and get this whole thing switched over. Wow, not even captive thumb screws here. Good old-fashioned regular thumb screws. So what we're working with here is a 4 gigabyte stick of RAM with a G3258 Pentium processor inside of this Z97 board. Now, the board originally was meant to house a 4790K, as a matter of fact, but the motherboard actually has some issues, and it doesn't recognize things like the power button being pressed after the system has been on a while. However, booting up the system and letting it just run, it does just fine. So I'm not really sure exactly what the motherboard issue is, because it does have some very funky behavior, and that's been repeatable where all the components have been switched over. I eventually ended up using an ASUS Z97 board, and it worked flawlessly. However, this board does very well for my NAS solution, so that's what I've been using it for. This power supply I'm just going to carry over. It's just a BFG 450 watt power supply, nothing special there. But we are going to carry everything over. The only thing that I'm really swapping out other than adding the hard drive is I'm also getting rid of this behemoth case. It's going to be the new system is going to be in a fractal Define R5 that I have laying around, and that's just because the Define R5 has plenty of drive cage room for my system, and it'll be probably quieter, it'll have better dust filter support, and just generally will probably fit my needs a little bit better than this massive case. So might as well go ahead and get everything pulled out. Like a Hellcat. Okay, so something to go over here is that I already have this semi-modular 850 watt power supply sitting in this case, so I'm just gonna leave it there. No use fighting against that. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that put where it is so that I can just use it. It's more efficient, and I trust it a lot more than this other thing anyways. So that being said, I'm actually gonna flip this power supply over so it's intaking from inside the case. And the reason behind that is this thing sits on the floor, and even though there is a dust filter on this PC, I think it would do a better job getting no dust or less dust inside that power supply by flipping it around. So that's what I'm gonna do. Otherwise, I'm still gonna use it though.
Coming like a hell. Like a Hellcat.
Okay, so what we have here, again, we still have our G3258 Pentium processor here, now sitting inside the Fractal Define R5, and you'll notice I still have another cage that I can add here that will then give me even more drive expansion. I believe that adds 4 more bays that I could populate with hard drives. But what we have here is my 2 terabyte drives. They are in a RAID array, so they're mirrored, and any mission critical anything will be stored on those. And then at the bottom here we have the new 4 terabyte HGST drive, and that'll be for my older files that I'm not like gonna be really depressed if I lose, but at the same time I don't want to give them up yet. So anything that's not mission critical will be here, anything that is will be on the mirrored drives. And then the other advantage of this case is that I actually do have a DVD drive in here, and I don't know if this is possible because I've never tried it. I'm hoping it is, but I'm going to try to set this up to be a network DVD drive so that other computers on the network actually have access to it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be successful with that or not, but that is the plan. And again, the power supply I flipped to take air in from inside the case so that we don't have to pull air from the bottom of the case, since it is going to be sitting on the ground. And then the dust filter in the front will be the only dust intake that I'll have to be too concerned about. So that's a quick overview of my NAS as it currently states, and it is about ready to go right back in the closet.
Okay, and we now have our NAS reset up. We have the N drive here, which was just the NAS before, and that has our 2 terabyte mirrored drives on there. And I'm currently pulling about 500 gigabytes worth of data off of this and putting it onto the cold storage drive, which is that new 4 terabyte drive, and there are only 3.51 of which is actually usable by the NAS. But so the K drive will be cold storage. As you can imagine, this is taking a little bit of time here, and about another 2 hours and 45 minutes left, even at the rate of about 50 megabytes per second. But once it's done moving all those files off, I can delete off of this guy, like I said, about 500 gigabytes worth of files, which will significantly extend the lifespan of those drives. And like I said, eventually I'll add another 4 terabyte drive and mirror that as well, so that I have more safe storage options available on the NAS. It's just a budget thing right now to only add 1 4 terabyte drive instead of something like 2 terabyte drives, because I'll be in the same situation in another 6 months or so if I only added 2 terabytes to that drive. So hopefully this will last me a good while. I'll probably do some other things like do drive backups on Acronis into the K drive as well, because they're not extremely crucial that I have those. And the chances of my main desktop and the network attached storage drive failing simultaneously are extremely slim. So I'm not really too concerned about storing backup images on that K drive as well. So if you like this content, give me a like down below, a share, subscribe. All those things are helpful. If you own a NAS, comment and tell us what kind of network attached storage setup you have. Did you buy a pre-built one and populate it with your own drives? Did you just buy something like I think it's a Western Digital MyBook that just attaches directly onto your network? Or did did you completely build your own custom solution like I did? Let us know in those comments down below. And as always, I'll let YouTube queue up a couple more videos just sort of all over the place here for you to watch. I'm Shane with Hoosier Hardware, and I'll see you guys in the next video.